Okay, so I'm going to talk to you now about meiosis, just a sort of consolidation task now. It's a shorter, more simplistic version of what you've just seen on the previous video. So just like before, we're going to start off with our parent cell. But this time, I know not all of you will have 4 colours, and to be honest, you had 8 chromosomes. It's quite cluttered in there. So we're just going to do this one colour. I'm choosing red. Just use whatever colour pen you've got. And I'm going to do it by shading in instead of using different colours. So here's my parent cell, and I've drawn them the same length because this cell is going to have 4 chromosomes in it. And they're arranged in 2 pairs. So there's one pair. I'm going to do the other pair again. Different colours. Now the one that I've coloured in sort of red, that's representing the version that you'd get from your dad. And the other version, the one that I've not coloured in, is the one that you would get from your mum, which is why chromosomes exist in pairs. In this particular case, as I said, there's 4 chromosomes arranged in 2 pairs. So just like with mitosis, the first thing that happens is the DNA is going to copy itself. So I'm going to draw that on this cell just to reduce the amount of space. I haven't got much space on my iPad. So there's a copy of that one. Copy of that one. Again, the drawings aren't amazing, but you get the idea. They look a bit like X's under the microscope if you've ever seen pictures of them. So this cell is now ready to divide. And it's going to divide to make 2 daughter cells, which is the same as what happens in mitosis. The mechanism's slightly different between the 2 types of cell division, but we don't need to go into detail about that for GCSE. That's A level, really. But in essence, what happens is those pairs are what actually split apart. And which one of the pair goes which way is random. I'm choosing to put the shaded red one that way and the white one that way. And remember, the shaded one in this case is representing the one that you would have got off your dad, the white one, the one you got off your mum. Now, there are 23 pairs of chromosomes in a human cell. I can't spell pairs. In a human cell. Obviously it varies depending on the species. We're just looking at 2 pairs here. So 4 chromosomes arranged in 2 pairs as opposed to 46 arranged in 23 pairs. So this is nice and simple so we can see it. In reality, out of those 23 pairs, which ones go which way is completely random. And that's where variation comes from. See, in this case, I'm just, because I'm drawing it, I'm choosing, just to make it look a bit different, to put the shaded red ones from the big pair one way. And I'm going to choose to send the unshaded ones, which would have come from the mother, in that cell. Not brilliant drawn, but you get the idea. So that's random. Which ones go which way into which cell is random. The pair is the one that's split. So you can see the longer chromosome, this one, the longer one. One went to one cell and the other one went into the other cell. Now, the important thing about meiosis is there is a second division. Okay, there's a second division. And that does not happen in mitosis. And that's why we end up with 4 daughter cells, not 2. And it's also why those 4 daughters have got half the amount of DNA in them, or half the number of chromosomes. Okay, so again, if you look at the sort of sizes, it's the long red one and a small white one. Again, I've got another long red and a small white. This one is the long white and the little red. Obviously, my drawing's not that great, but you get the idea. So from an original cell that would be in, for example, the ovary or the testes, in this case, that original cell had 4 chromosomes arranged in 2 pairs, and each pair had what would have come from their parents, mum and dad. I then copy that DNA, so I've got my little X's now. I pull apart my X's in the first division, and then I pull apart my copies in the second division. And that means that by the end of meiosis, I have 4 daughter cells, not 2, and each one of those has half the amount of chromosomes as the parent. And that means obviously when we go on to do fertilisation, which they showed you in the first video, we can restore the chromosome number then.